The following podcast discusses adult situations and gets very sweary. Sensitive ears beware. You're listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast, where the work stories are real, the laughs are contagious, and all of us can agree that work sucks. Welcome back, fuckers.
Welcome back, fuckers.
And today is Halloween. Woo!
Oh.
Happy Halloween, fuckers.
Happy Halloween.
This whole episode, our Halloween special, is why we're back to podcasting.
That's right.
Someone in Wildwood, New Jersey or something like that sent us a message, and I was like, all right, we'll do this again.
Yeah.
And here we are. And it's spooky season, and I hope everyone out there is having a
spooktacular time.
So yes, this is our Halloween special, where we share very scary stories from the workplace.
Yes.
Even though, like, work is scary enough as it is. Add some paranormal activity to that shit, and
Booyakasha.
here we are.
You have the 2025 Fuck My Work Life Halloween episode.
That's right. I got my spooky cocktail.
Oh yeah? What do you got?
It's apple cider and Prosecco.
Fucking shit, man.
It's actually delicious. You want to try
There's
it?
no pumpkin in it?
No. It's actually way better than a mimosa, like an orange juice mimosa. I can't really do orange juice anymore.
It is good. It's very
Appley?
fall-y.
Yeah. It's a fall spooky.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to mimosas, I will drink them because they're, you know, everywhere you go, they're going to have mimosas. Like if we go out to a brunch or something, I'll drink mimosas. I've never been a fan of mimosas, like with the orange juice.
Yeah.
Like the, what have we been doing? Like the peach? Yeah, the peach is so much better.
Peach is
good.
good.
And even that is like so much better.
Yeah.
The orange juice with the Prosecco just gets like the
acid reflux.
Yeah,
going.
like the acid reflux, the indigestion kind of thing going, and it's
that's
just too much.
very scary. Yeah, I can't do orange juice at all anymore. Like the acidity hurts my mouth too much, and the peach was starting to get like. I think I'm becoming allergic to a lot of fruits, which is stupid. Like even banana sometimes hurts my mouth.
Really?
Yeah, it's dumb. Tomatoes, definitely anything acidic. I don't know why bananas, but this apple cider is good. It doesn't hurt my mouth.
Do you put a little cinnamon in it?
Oh, I should go throw a I have cinnamon sticks right there in my little witchy drawer. I should throw a
dang.
cinnamon stick in there.
Shit's just gonna go.
I mean, it's just for looks. I don't need it to look fancy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we gathered some spooky workplace stories for you.
Yes.
So hopefully you're listening to this in or around Halloween. And if not, that's fine too. It's spooky all year in my heart.
Do we have any housekeeping or anything?
No, we haven't been podcasting. We don't have any housekeeping.
I don't know.
No housekeeping.
Do we want updates?
Like from the last time?
Oh yeah, I guess we just put one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no more updates.
No updates as of yet. No housekeeping. Just creepy workplace stories.
One fucker. Two fucker.
Okay. I'm going to start off with a little short story. I put out a call on TikTok for people to send in their spooky workplace stories, and we got one.
Nice.
But it's very short. So this comes from Paige on TikTok. So it says, if you look into downtown Oklahoma City, you will see there are tunnels connecting buildings. I was working in one of these buildings a few years ago and would walk the tunnels with my coworker on lunch breaks. They have cool neon lights and historic information down there. It isn't uncommon to see people power walking the tunnels, but there's no signal down there. And they attached a YouTube video so you can see the tunnels, which I will link in the show notes. Anyways, there's a haunted hotel we have downtown called the Skirvin. I've stayed there and have stories from there as well.
That shit sounds haunted.
Skirvin. Sounds like scurvy.
It sounds like a disease.
Anyways, I was walking the tunnels one day, yapping with my coworker, and we saw a lady disappear into the wall while we were walking by the Skirvin. She was an older lady who had dyed brown hair and curls and wore casual business attire. We went over to where she disappeared to investigate, and there was a solid wall.
Solid like a...
Like a rock. It was very creepy.
Solid? What do they mean, solid? Is there any other type of wall?
I mean, I think they mean there wasn't a door or a hallway or anything there.
I've never been...
You jackass.
I've never seen a hollow wall.
You know what sucks, though? It's like, you know, usually when people are like, oh, I saw a ghost, it was in, like, period attire and, like, old 1800s clothing. This poor ghost was in casual business attire.
Yeah.
Like, they're doomed to haunt their work.
I'm surprised before they walked through the wall, they didn't go, I just died 10 years ago, bitch.
Or, can we circle back on that? No! Thank you, Paige, for sending that in. We appreciate you. And then the next few are going to be stories that I found on Reddit.
This is by Reddit user X-Ray Anonymous. He Pulp Anonymous.
What is that?
That's from Big Daddy.
Was that where he was the devil?
No, that's the one where...
That's little Nicky.
Yeah, that's little Nicky. No, Big Daddy was the one where, like, I think he had a son by some girl and she just dropped him off. And he had But he was also, like, a child,
kid,
too. And he had, Rob Schneider, who was, like, foreign. And they were doing, like, a spelling bee between Rob Schneider and the kid. And the kid, they would give, like, easy words. And then they gave hippopotamus to Rob Schneider. And he was like, hip hop anonymous?
That's also a Flight of the Conchord song. The hip hoppopotamus.
Oh. Anyway, this is from Reddit user X-Ray Anonymous. I worked at a Blockbuster. I'm old, I know. Back in 2008/2009. And when I started, they talked about how it was haunted. I thought they were just giving me a hard time for being the new girl.
Hey, girl.
They said in the right back corner of the store, once in a while, you'd hear someone who would sound like your coworker say your name, but it wouldn't be them who did it. And that once in a while, a customer would come in at night, go to that part of the store, and disappear. Then one slow night, as my manager is training me, a man walks in. We greeted him, and then my manager went back to discussing the pop machine with me.
Pop. Pop.
He was the only customer in the store at the time. My manager was going to take me to the back room to grab some soda and refill the cooler.
Wait, is it pop or is it soda?
It's both. We were standing right by the soda machine in front of the checkout this entire time. So between both entrance and exit doors, no one could get in or out without us seeing. He said, let's make sure he doesn't need anything before we go to the back. So we walked back to the corner where he went, and he wasn't there. We did a loop around the whole store, and he wasn't there. He was just gone. Mind you, no matter where in the store you are, you can still see the doors. So he also didn't circumvent us and exit without us seeing. My manager looked perplexed for a second and said, usually it's a woman, and just headed for the back room. Another night we had a staff meeting and were sitting on the floor on the back corner, and I very clearly heard and felt someone behind me. I thought it was my coworker who was sitting behind me. whisper my name right in my ear. I whipped my head around, but they were still sitting reclined back on their hands. No way they could have moved fast enough into that position after whispering in my ear without me seeing. My manager stopped what he was saying and asked if I needed something. I just looked at him and said, no. And his mouth kind of quirked up in an educated guess sort of smile, and he continued on. It's a Jimmy John's now, and I always wonder if they have any weird happenings there at night.
What is Jimmy John's? That's sandwiches, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sandwiches. Why does it always come around to sandwiches?
It's always sandwiches.
I wonder if that's like a residual haunting, right? There's something happened on the land where that Blockbuster was built, and now they're just doomed to roam Blockbuster.
To just walk in and go to the back corner and...
Yeah. Back where the porn was.
Usually it's a woman.
Well, no, Blockbuster didn't have porn, right? Because they were like a Mormon company.
Yeah, I don't think they had porn.
Remember old school video stores with their like back porn room?
Yeah. They would like... It was so funny because the old video stores, you'd walk in and there would be like the old school Texas style saloon doors that you would go through, and that's the porn area. But if you walked like next to the porn area, you could just look over and you're looking at all the porn.
Yeah. Now, kids, a video store is where you used to be able to go in and rent movies, VHS movies, to take home for a few days.
What is VHS? So you would go in and download the movie onto your phone?
Onto your iPad? Oh, man. It's so crazy how much times have changed. And now we're old.
I worked at a video store. It was called Music Plus. So we had like CDs and tapes, but we still had the majority of the store was still VHS. And then there was a back wall where like the uppity people went, and there was DVDs.
Oh yeah, I remember when DVDs started.
When they
and
first started hitting the scene.
Yeah.
And it was just like
section.
one wall that was DVDs, and it was only like the new movies that came out. And the rest was just aisles of VHS.
And you're like, those people are rich. They've got a DVD player.
Yeah.
Okay, our next story is from Reddit user KelNC. My first teaching assignment from 2002 to 2007 was in a 2-story school built in 1928. Old brick building, rural South. The kitchen was built in a basement that was later sealed up with all the kitchen equipment inside. Not sure why. The building had a long hall with 6 or 7 classrooms running down the length of it, connected to a second building by a covered breezeway. The breezeway had a set of stairs that led back to the main floor. The building doors opened into the breezeway, so once closed, if they were locked, there was no way out. I'm trying to picture that in my head. So like the doors locked and you couldn't get in or out of the breezeway. The breezeway had a door that opened into the staircase and was only able to be locked from the breezeway itself. Rumors of ghosts had run through the community for decades, and when you were in the building alone, you heard your fair share of odd noises that didn't really make sense, but could easily be chalked up to old building noise. No big deal. Except one winter evening, probably around 2004 or 2005, I was working late-ish and was the last one at the school. Janitors locked up, told me to make sure doors were closed and secured behind me. Teachers only had keys to their room. It was about 6:30 when I was leaving. The sun had been down for about an hour. As I got ready to turn off the hall lights, I glanced down the hallway towards the breezeway. The door into the breezeway was bordered by 2 full-length windows. In the window furthest from the breezeway staircase, I see the silhouette of what I thought was a preteen or teenage boy, definitely too tall to be the 4th and 5th graders we had, looking at me. It was not my own reflection because I can remember plain as day the security light in the ceiling of the breezeway was shining behind them. I start storming, getting my mean teacher face on, down the hallway towards the door to yell at the middle high schooler for being on campus and up to no good. The silhouette ducks behind the door, but I don't see it cross the window next to the staircase. I go bursting through the door, ready to jump all over this kid, into an absolutely empty breezeway with all the doors locked. Ooh. Ooh. Now, there was no way the kid had the ability to get into the stairwell. That door was locked and wouldn't have been able to be opened. Chain link ran the height of the breezeway all the way from building to building to prevent jumping or falling accidents. There was absolutely no way for a person to exit that breezeway once they were locked in. Needless to say, once I realized there was no one there, and being 1000% sure of what I saw, I got the hell out of there and never worked in that building after dark alone again. Spooky. I really wish I haven't had like a real paranormal experience.
Yeah.
I wish I had. My grandma visited me after she died, but that was it.
Okay. This is from Reddit user Ravenously Red. I worked in a library that was founded in the late 1800s. I worked IT in the basement in an office that you could only reach if you had a key card. You had to go through 2 keycard locked doors to even get to my desk. I'd work late once a week until about 6. And in the winter, it would get dark so early. I hated being in the office down there alone, even though I was perfectly safe because no one could reach me. One evening, I was at my desk and I heard whistling in the hallway. I could hear large, heavy footsteps, like someone was wearing heavy work boots. My stomach lurched because the only way out of the basement was through the hallway. I heard the footsteps and whistling in. I never heard anyone come through the 2 access doors, so I couldn't rationalize it. I called the main desk and told them what I heard, and they invited me to come up to spend the rest of my shift in their company. There was nowhere to hide in that hallway. I made a quick exit that night. I had another job years later working in a factory. It wasn't old or anything historical. Without specifying too much, it was a food production plant. Given the nature of the factory, you had to wear protective eyewear, a hairnet.
Hairnet?
A hairnet? A hairnet. Oh my God.
You said net?
Kind of. It was like a mix between nut and net.
Yep.
Knit. Given the nature of the factory, you had to wear protective eyewear, a hairnet, and you were encouraged to wear gloves. I really hated that place. The work was so miserable and mind-numbing, I often fantasize about ending my life on the clock. Jesus fucking Christ.
I fantasize about that a lot at work.
Right when I was in the middle of having these thoughts, an old man came up to me abruptly and asked me how I liked working there, which made me want to kill myself even more. I noticed he wasn't wearing any of the required PPE, so I figured he was management or an owner. I lied and said I liked it. I had a whole conversation with this guy for a few minutes. I turned my head to look at a coworker and looked back, and he was gone. When I asked my manager who the old guy was, she told me to shut the fuck up and stop freaking her out. She asked me, "Who told you to mess with me?" Apparently, this guy had worked at the plant. He worked there until he died. He was eligible... He was eligible to retire for years, but never did. It makes me sad to think even after dying, he's still hanging around that factory. Yeah, I mean...
So my question is, he was sitting there talking to this guy for a couple minutes. His coworker's right next to him because he turned to say something to his coworker. Did his coworkers just see him talking to himself for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, he turned to look at his coworker, but I was also thinking that when I was reading through this. They didn't fire you on the spot for being fucking schizophrenic because you had a few minute conversation with no one?
Well, did it say what year this was? Because, you know, people have a little earbuds in now that talk on the phone. So I guess,
true.
You know, you see people talking themselves now. You're just like, are they on the phone?
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, if he's thinking it's, or this person's thinking it's management or an owner, and they're like, "Oh no, I love it here. Yeah, it's so great. I do the IT." The coworker's probably like, "Oh, this fucking guy's like brown nosing so hard. Who's he on the phone with?"
Yeah. Oh my God, my worst nightmare is to haunt the place we work for all eternity.
That's your worst nightmare, but also you would love it.
It would get old fucking with people.
Not if that's the only thing you have.
I guess. Just get real creative. Our next Spooky workplace story is from Knox Beer Boy.
Hey.
This one is long, so bear with me. I helped run a food truck for a while. We were based about 45 minutes outside of a mid-sized city in a small town. Being outside of the city, the people who owned the truck had a hard time finding a base kitchen where we could store supplies, prep, and clean up after a night. So they struck a deal with this town's community center. Did that come out right? This town's community center that had a restaurant-grade kitchen and an office storage room for us to use. To explain the layout of this building, it was a long cinder block building, 3 offices in the back left, open community room that people would hold events in, and the kitchen was to the right of the event space. Past the kitchen was a door that was always locked that went into a small community thrift store that 2 older ladies ran during the day. Our office storage was the last room in the back left, which was nice because we could access it from the exterior door. Unfortunately, that meant to get to the kitchen to prep or do dishes, to get to the kitchen to prep or do dishes when we brought the truck back, we had to cross the event space. Of course, the lights to that space were across the room, and at night it was pitch black inside. There was rarely any events going on. I eventually got to a point where I was able to run the truck alone. It was better money, and I didn't have to work with anyone. That also meant I would start having some late nights alone in the building. A month of that goes by with no issues, until one night I'm washing dishes with my headphones on. Kitchen lights are on, my office light is on, but I left the event space dark. I hear doors shutting and general commotion in the event space and assume it's one of the owners coming back to check on me. I walk out, flip a light on, and nothing. Check all the doors, they're locked, put my headphones back on, and get back to it. A week or 2 goes by, and I've got another late night. This time I'm in the office finishing up balancing our drawer and getting the prep order sheet ready for the next day. I had been in the kitchen earlier that night, so all the doors were locked and checked by me, as well as all the lights shut off. As I'm sitting in the office, I hear metal chairs dragging against the floor and then a loud banging on the next office door over from ours. I sit there completely frozen until I get the courage to open our door going into the event space and shine a flashlight. Nothing's out of place. I convince myself that I'm hearing things and finish up for the night. Next week, I'm back in the kitchen. It's after midnight and I'm the only one in the building. Only lights on are in the office and kitchen. The 3 sinks we use to wash everything are on the wall facing the exterior hallway leading into the kitchen. One of the cinder blocks that is about waist high is missing from that wall to the right of the sink, so you can see into the hallway through it. It seemed like it had been intentionally taken out to pass things through to serving staff for events. Through one cinder block. Here, take this tray of champagne. Here. Clunk, clunk, clunk. As I'm washing dishes, I look over and clearly see the face of a boy looking directly up at me through space. Through space. Looking directly up at me through the space where the block was taken out. I could feel the blood drain out of my face and chills run down my spine. When I look again, there is of course no boy standing there. I finish up and got the hell out of there. I'm in the building during the day about 3 days after the incident, and the lady who runs the building is in one of the offices working on the community center books. I've only met her a handful of times, and she's a very no-nonsense person who I just assumed would not have any time for any ghost stories. To make myself feel better, I decide to ask about what I think I've seen. I approach the office and tell her I've got a question about the building. She turns in her chair, takes her glasses off, and says, "I assume you've seen or heard them." I get chills just typing it now. I tell her about the boy, and she explained that her and pretty much anyone who she's had working in the building over the years has experienced scratching doors, shuffling chairs, peeking around corners, flushing toilets, and flipping light switches. She then goes on to tell me the little boy is the most playful, but he's not the only one she's experienced, and there are others around who aren't as friendly. Ooh. I don't like that. She sent me over to the thrift store to ask the ladies about it. The moment I walk in, both ladies working knew exactly what I was there to ask. They said they were surprised it took me that long to bring it up. They said that mainly the little boy would move things around the shop or mess with toy donations that they had. Then they brought up what they called the more sinister one. Apparently, there's something else there that would slam on their shared door going into the hallway by our kitchen they kept locked. They would have a few late nights before big community sales where they would be sorting and pricing items and could hear doors being slammed into, chairs being thrown into the cider
blocks. Cider block walls.
It says cider here.
Yeah, it's cider block walls.
Chairs being thrown into the cinder block walls, just angrier things than a little boy causing mischief. That took the air out of my sails. The reasoning for it all was in the 1800s, the spot where the building had been built on was the ground of an old fire hall. It was very rural, and at that time, it was the only place for multiple of the smaller surrounding communities to go. What is a fire hall? You know? You're from the South.
Fuck's that supposed to mean? I'm guessing it's like a fire station or...
Maybe.
I don't know, where they would hold the fireman's ball in the fire hall.
Maybe.
What is a fire hall?
I'm guessing it's like a fire station because it goes into a little bit more. If someone had an emergency, they usually took them there since the closest hospital was hours away. As the lady at the thrift store put it, there's no way that multiple people hadn't died on these grounds. I think I worked about 2 more weeks, and in that 2 weeks, I applied to every job I thought I might be qualified for. The last night I worked alone, I'm in the office, already a nervous wreck, and I can hear full scratching down our door leading into the event space. I freeze in place until the scratching stops, and then bang! A chair hits the cinder block wall in between our door and the next office over. I was immediately on the phone with my girlfriend heading out the exterior door. I got a call back for a bartending job much closer to home, maybe a day or 2 later, and text the food truck owners that I wasn't coming back. I'm sure they weren't happy about me abruptly quitting or having to work it themselves, but I'm sure they eventually figured out why.
Yeah.
Yikes.
What would you do in that situation?
I don't know. I feel like probably just cry. I don't know. You mean like as it's happening or with the job?
As it's happening.
I don't know. That's terrifying.
It is. I definitely think that the blood would drain from me.
Yeah.
You know, you get that like...
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I'd probably go into a panic attack. And then...
You wouldn't go out there trying to fight some ghosts?
Nah, fuck that shit. What are you going to fight them with?
I don't know.
If I had one of them Ghostbuster things...
Yeah.
Where I could slime them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the ecto what something?
Ectoplasm.
Ecto something. Yeah.
I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably do the same thing with a little bit of pee. You know, just sit there quietly, pee a little bit, and then be like, well, I'm going to go home early.
So you and I should never do a paranormal investigation together, because you'd be peeing and I'd be crying.
So here's the thing is, like, if I went into a situation where I was paranormal investigating and I knew that there was a chance that these things could happen, I'd handle it a little more.
Then you're just being at work and...
But if I was just working for a fucking food truck...
Yeah.
And like having to do the paperwork afterwards, and then scratching down the door came and people started throwing chairs at the walls, I'd be like, all right, you know, like, I'm gonna pee a little bit.
Yeah. You just gotta give them a food offering.
Yeah, once I warm myself up with my own urine, I will get myself out of this chair and go out there and fuck shit. The security cameras would see me swinging on nobody. This is from Reddit user BPG131313. Back when I was a captain in the fire department, we responded to a house fire early in the morning. When we arrived, the roof was breached, and flames had taken out 2 windows on the 2nd floor of a split-level home.
What is breached? Like caving in?
It burned through them.
Oh, okay.
So that means it's hot.
Yeah, big fire.
We made entry, and even though the roof was breached, the thermocline was about 2 feet off the 1st floor. We wouldn't have gone in at all, but a child was missing. and the father and mother had gotten out of the house, but they couldn't get to their daughter's room. The father was being treated for burns on his hands and forearms as he tried to go in after her. Suffice to say, they were frantic.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
They told us that her room was on the second floor, second door on the right. Simple enough. We made entry and the stairs faced the door. Rapid bursts from the TFT, whatever the fuck that is.
Speaking fireman.
Yeah. To the ceiling brought the smoke level up to about 4 feet from the floor. That's when my hand line man and I saw something that neither of us could explain. I saw motion to my left down on the main floor. Someone was walking around downstairs. I pointed to my hand line man and he saw it too. We couldn't see a body as the person was in smoke, but we could see the legs and the feet clearly. It looked to be a man wearing olive green trousers and leather shoes. I wouldn't say that the legs were dancing, but they were certainly moving in a way to get our attention. We redirect back down the stairs and see the legs go into a door on the right side of the small hallway. We both saw the legs go into that room. We get down the hallway and the door is closed. Feeling the door, there weren't flames behind it, and we made entry to discover that we were in a bathroom. The light was on, and curled up in the bathtub was the little girl. There was no one else in the room with her. We broke out the window and got her to a second crew keeping the house next door from catching fire. We looked around the bathroom again and couldn't find the man we'd both seen going into the bathroom. There was nowhere for him to hide in there. We withdrew from the house and did exposure control as the house was a complete loss, with the fire already ingressing into the living room. The parents had gone with their daughter to the hospital where she was checked and cleared to go later that morning, and the man suffered only first and small second-degree burns on his hands and forearms. The family stopped by the station and wanted to thank us for saving their daughter. They asked us how we knew to check the first floor bathroom, and I asked them if they knew anything about a man in olive green trousers and leather shoes. The man pulled out his phone after a minute of thinking and showed us a picture of 2 old men standing in a lawn. One of the men was clearly wearing olive green trousers and those leather shoes. The man we had seen on the first floor had passed away in 1976 and was the man's father. The little girl's grandfather had showed us where she was. We were all speechless. It's the only time I've seen a ghost during a response.
That's sweet. I like that story.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Grandpa saved her. Our next story is from Space Angel 999. I live in Mexico and worked at an educational center mostly for kids with autism, but also some other neurodivergent conditions like Williams. As it started as an altruistic project founded by a woman whose very own son had autism, it was mostly sustained by donations, and at the time, the building where it was located was an old house, quite big, that was either borrowed or rented to them for a very low cost. But other than adding kindergarten-like furniture, no modifications were made to the house structure or rooms in order to use it as a school. The bedrooms and other rooms with doors were used as classrooms. One smaller room that may have been some kind of big closet was adapted as an office for one of the head psychologists working there. The kitchen and dining room was where we would take the kids out for lunch, and the garden was used as a playground for recess. My job there was to be the assistant of one of the teachers with one of the largest groups, 6 kids, but for special education. It is a big group for one person only, and they didn't have the resources to hire more teachers. When they decided to hire some assistants, including me, the school had already been active for some years, so it was the teachers who told us the stories. It all started with some of the kids making comments like, "I don't want to go there. I don't like the angry man staring at me." Or, "Look, the angry man is at the window again," while pointing at one of the classroom windows from the playground. One of the head psychologists got very freaked out one day when she very clearly saw a woman who looked very similar to one of the teachers thin with long brown hair, walking inside a classroom, and followed her there as she had something to discuss, only to realize the classroom was empty after she entered it. A lot of brown-haired ghosts.
Yeah. Fucking brunettes, man.
They also told us... Can I talk today? They also told us about more events that happened, but I don't remember them very clearly to this date, as this was more than 10 years ago, and I don't want to make anything up. But the most interesting part is, one day they had a celebration breakfast for all the staff, which took place in the garden, the area they used as a playground. One of the teachers had a friend come over with her, and this friend was energy sensitive, so he told her there was something wrong with that house. He pointed to the same window the kids used to mention and said the same thing. There's an angry man looking at us from that window. He asked to look around the house and told them something had happened there, a very tragic event involving a very angry person and a very sad woman, and the energy of that event was still lingering in this house. After that and some other happenings, the principal founder ended up bringing a medium to the house, and the medium basically repeated what the teacher's friend had told them. Something tragic had happened there, most likely a murder.
Moida.
But this medium hadn't been told anything about what the other guy had said. She also did some cleansing rituals on the house, but some teachers claimed they sometimes heard weird noises when alone, or still had some of their kids making weird comments from time to time. I only worked there for 6 months while I waited for a particular college program I was going to attend to be started, so probably that's why I never got to experience anything creepy while working there. Not that I would have liked to. The school is no longer located at that house. At some point, someone donated a larger piece of land to them so that they can make their own building, and now they're located there. Spooky. There's a bad man in the window.
This story is medical malfunction. In 2016, I was a paramedic. In 2016, I was a paramedic on a high-volume alien... Fuck me. I cannot talk. In 2016, I was a paramedic on a high-volume ambulance in a major East Coast city. We frequently ran high-acuity calls involving death and dying. However, one such incident stands out above the rest. During this time, I worked in a poverty-stricken area where heroin was a part of everyday life for many people. We frequently encountered intoxicated people, overdoses, and drug-related deaths. One afternoon, we were dispatched for a cardiac arrest at a private residence, the only occupied home in a row of otherwise vacant row homes. Mm. We were greeted by an elderly woman at the door who told us that she had been letting a homeless man stay in a room upstairs. This is not an uncommon practice here, and that she had not heard from him in several days. She stated that she knows he went upstairs 2 or 3 days ago, and that she is confined to the first floor due to mobility issues, so she would have known if he had come downstairs. At this time, the only people in the house were my partner, the homeowner, and myself. So my partner and I cautiously went up the stairs to the first room on the right where she had directed us. Upon reaching the top of the stairs, we were met by an odor which instantly told us that the gentleman we were called for was deceased and beyond any medical help. The door to his...
It smells like rot, I would think so.
The door to his room was covered with a sheet or blanket that had been fashioned into a door or curtain. We entered the room and found the deceased sitting on the floor and propped against a wall with a needle still held in his hand. Oof. He was young, in his late 20s or early 30s, and it was a scene I had seen play out many times before and since.
Sad.
Yeah. No longer needing my partner, I dismissed him. I then requested the police for a DOA and canceled the engine and my supervisor, who had been dispatched on the call as well. While my partner was out in the ambulance replacing equipment, my supervisor entered, explaining she was just down the street when I canceled her and that she wanted to make sure I did not need any assistance. I thanked her, and then we both turned and looked at the curtain. There was a very clear handprint pushing through the cloth draped over the doorway, causing several inches of movement in the center of the curtain. There was no breeze felt, no open window noticed in the home, and the only other person in the house was the elderly homeowner who could not get up the stairs. I immediately moved the curtain aside and could see clearly down the hallway and down the stairs. There was no one there. My supervisor and I looked at each other in stunned silence. From the window, I could see my partner outside, and I verified that the police had not arrived yet. Neither my supervisor nor I could come up with any logical explanation for such a clearly defined hand appearing in the curtain. We have mentioned this to each other several times since then, and have not been shy about telling the story to others. Whatever or whoever that hand belonged to seemed to be a signal from the other side, but what it meant or what it wanted is anybody's guess.
I wonder if it was the kid who passed. That's sad.
Yeah, could be.
Or just some other random ghost in the...
Or the ghost who made the kid pass.
Made him OD.
Yeah.
I guess that happens, huh?
Drove him to it.
Like, didn't that happen in Ghost? The movie Ghost?
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. I don't know. I just remember this stupid pottery scene.
I was just about to say the same thing. Like, all I remember is the pottery scene.
But weren't there like scary demon things that came and took the bad guy away?
That would like...
Did they make that noise?
Yeah.
Oh.
The black shadow demons that...
Took the guy that murdered him away? Mm-hmm. A spoiler alert. He was murdered.
Yeah. I mean...
From the movie from the 80s.
Yeah. Spoiler alert of 40 years ago.
All right. Our final story of the evening, or whenever you're listening to this, is from friend of the pod, Tim, from the Against All Oddities podcast. Hey Jay, hey Kay, long time. Hope you two are doing super duper. This is Tim from the Against All Oddities podcast. I've been enjoying the Dead Like Me season 2 recap Kay is doing with Dustin. We've abandoned pretty much all socials, so we've lost touch with We've abandoned pretty much all socials, so we've lost touch with some pod friends. I hope Dustin is also doing super duper. I've been keeping up with his podcast, so hopefully he's hearing this. What's up, Dustin? I'm going to try to share new haunted work stories, and if I'm repeating myself, I apologize ahead of time. It's fine. If they're repeats, I certainly can't remember, so it's fine. I work in a hospital, and our step-down units are shaped like a U. It's like a wide hallway with the nursing station in the center, so you can see each room without having to get up. Since it's not an ICU, these rooms have actual doors that most patients keep shut. If there's any concern, the doors get propped open so we can keep an eye on whatever's going on in there. Well, on a night shift, all of the doors were shut, and it was a pretty slow part of the night, around 2 or 3 in the morning. One of the doors opened by itself and then slowly closed. Then another door a little further down opened on its own and then shut. The nurse sitting in the station had a very loud, like, inhale while you're talking sort of voice saying, "What the fuck?" Clearly, a ghost wanted a new room and was polite enough to shut the door behind them. What's extra fucked up is the room it went into had a history before that.
Oh, shit.
When a patient has an emergency, whether it's medical or behavioral, a rapid response is called. This room had a rapid where the patient was having a bit of an episode. There were like 8 people in the room, but the patient was talking to someone and kept pointing by me, not at me, but behind me, until I asked, "Who are you talking to?" To which they responded with a very believable, "The devil."
Oh.
I was like 95% sure I wouldn't see the devil if I turned around, but that 5% of uncertainty is scary. So I turned around and, well, I couldn't see the devil, but the patient 100% could. We have since moved out of that unit, not because of the devil. but because they built a gigantic new hospital connected to our old one. It's very clean, very nice, very modern, and very not haunted because nobody had even been in. Bleh. And not very haunted because nobody had even been in it yet. But honey, it's the land. That's a reference to Morbid podcast if anyone listens to that. At least at first. We've been in the new building for a few months now, and unfortunately, people pass away in hospitals. Since I started in any hospital in 2006, cry emoji, when somebody dies, you crack a window so their soul can leave the building and get to where it needs to go. That's sweet.
Get the fuck out.
Don't stay here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
We'll charge your fucking insurance if you stay here.
Yeah, exactly. With newer buildings, you're not allowed to have windows that open. Now the more superstitious staff blame bad nights on the souls walking around collecting new friends since they can't find their way out of the building. As a just in case, if you want to try and ward off something catastrophic from happening on your shift, besides good medical care, you tie a knot in the sheet of the patient you're worried about. Sometimes, even the less than superstitious will tie a knot these days. After all, what's there to lose? Happy Halloween to everyone. Glad to have some Fuck My Work Life coming back as a spooky season treat. Tim. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks.
I bet you see so much crazy
weird
stuff.
Shit. Yeah.
Honey, it's the land. Yeah, thank you for sending that in. Anytime you get spooky stories, send them in. Yeah, send them our way. Not just Tim, everyone.
It's Halloween all year round here.
We
will take spooky stories,
funny stories, scary stories, silly stories, fucked up stories.
Just
stories about shit that happens while you're working. We want to hear them. We hope everyone has a happy Halloween.
Yeah.
And we love you fuckers.
Well, what are you going to be for Halloween?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm going to be a broken doll. Like a broken porcelain doll. With like chunks of, porcelain missing and stuff.
With bloody stuff underneath? The chunks of...
Well, no, because I'm a doll. I'm not a human.
Yeah, I know, but... creepy doll.
Maybe I'll have some blood just dripping from my eyes like I'm crying tears of blood. That could be cool. It was really just an excuse to wear a cute dress.
There you go.
What are you going to be, Jay?
I'm going to be a creepy scarecrow.
That was my cat just clawing me, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jay got a really cool mask from Spirit.
I did. And it's funny, like I was looking at other masks and like I don't want to do makeup, It's just I'm going to want to take it off 10 minutes into the night. A mask is cool because I can take it off and put it back on when I need to.
Yeah.
And it's fine. But we were at Spirit and I was looking through the masks and, there was the cool, like, rabbit scarecrow and the different little scarecrow. And they were like $70. And then the one scarecrow mask that I liked where it was like, as you moved your face, the mask kind of moved.
The mouth opens on the mask.
Yeah, it was like $45.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll get that.
Yeah. I'll post pictures on our Blue Sky of our costumes. So make sure you're following us on Blue Sky.
What's Blue Sky?
It was like the replacement for Twitter, basically.
Oh.
And it's the only social we have now. So I overtook our TikTok to just be my personal TikTok. But you can follow us there too.
All right, well, it's been real.
And please send in your stories and have a very safe and spooky Halloween.
Yes.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye, fuckers.
Thanks for listening to the Fuck My Work Life podcast. We'd love to hear your workplace stories, so send them our way to fmwlpod@gmail.com or leave us a message at 310-818-3273. You can also send us a text by clicking the link at the top of the show notes. For more fun content, you can follow us on Blue Sky or join our Discord channel. Our theme music is by Leo Allen. You can find all of these links in the show notes. Until next time, bye fuckers. They saw the roots coming out.